So one day I'm sitting here on Wonder Maps on the internet, looking at the weather, just tripping on the weather, like I always do. And I noticed one day, not right now, this is just one day, in the Bay of Bengal there was this big storm, big cyclone that was going on at the time. And from that spot of weather that was there, that weather pattern that was, pretty intense, you could see this trail of clouds, like white. They were like these white clouds. There was a couple of heavy spots where it was a solid trail that went all the way across the Pacific, constant, nonstop, unbroken, all the way up here to Alaska, and then right down here, and it stopped at the Rocky Mountains. Right? I mean, it was clearly a trail, and they call that the jet stream or whatever they call that, but it was definitely coming from here and going up and stopping right here. You could see it. There was a big round spot here, and there's a big round spot right there at the time in the weather. And you could look, over here at the weather pattern that was in the Bay of Bengal, and you can see by the shape of it, by looking at the shape of that, I could see it all in one picture. I was looking at both places at one time here on this, you can see it both places at one time on this map. And I could look here, and I looked over here, and I could see that would have fit there. I could see the weather would fit there. That was over here would fit there with that trail going all the way across. So, anyways, I already know that these two areas have something in common. This area of India and this area of California. I'll show you on the other one here. The mother lode. Basically, this area, I don't remember. I think I found this one, the Copernicus crater, the moon crater, the crater on the moon called Copernicus. Yes. See this curve right here? This is where the mother lode is, where all the gold come from in California. Is all right here. Look how, see the circle there? You can see it. It goes all the way around right here. All the way around. Okay, well, I found that, I think, because I was looking here. There's a mountain right in this area here. This area I never had been to until, like, I don't know, 6 years ago. But when I went there, it was really interesting. So I looked up this Copernicus Peak that they have here, called Copernicus Peak. And basically, you can see, if you're on the top of that Copernicus Peak, you're right on the edge of this. I think Copernicus Peak's in this area, actually. It's right in here somewhere. One of these areas here. And you can see that's right on the edge of that circle. Copernicus Peak would be right here. It goes, because this circle comes around. You would be able to see Copernicus crater from that peak anyway. That's how I accidentally found that one. And it turned out to be legit later, because it brings it together with India. India, I've seen it in the weather over here, the Copernicus crater. I know you may think that sounds crazy, but all the weather patterns over the Earth are lunar surface patterns, every single one, and that's no bullshit. You think it is if you want, but see that cut right there? That's that coastline right there. That's Copernicus right there. This part of India and that other Northern California, they call this California. In India, they have the goddess Kali. And if you look at Kali, she's got her tongue sticking out with like piercings in her tongue. Same thing as the center of the Aztec calendar over here in this area. Some people call it the Mayan calendar, but it's the Aztec calendar. Anyway. So I already knew that those two areas went together. And I proved that in a video. You can see it on my channel. Those two areas went together. And so, and I pointed out that the weather in the Bay of Bengal would fit right here. And I did that a couple times afterwards. I didn't make a video about it. But anyways, I grabbed some weather. I found this picture earlier in my folder. And I was looking at it. And I thought, I could see North America in that shape right there, in that weather from this area. You see, there's India. That's the coast of India. That would go with California. This area here. This would go, after basically all you can do. You can start with this area. You know that goes together. But I had a lot of things I could use in this picture with the weather. I'm pretty sure I got an accurate alignment of it. I'm pretty sure that's pretty accurate. I mean, it puts California right, pretty close to being right in the right spot. This right here, where that spot is, that's right where the mother lode is. And I wasn't even really. You can see the outline of it too, right here. Look at the outline of this shape. You can see that outline. Look at how it outlines that weather. I can see it. Goes all the way around right here, right here. You can see the outline without this picture on it. See it? See the line go around? Then right here where the big bright spot is, the red spot, that's the absolute mother lode in Northern California. That's it. Right there. It goes into Nevada, California, and there's like Oroville and Chico right here. Right above that is the mother lode. That's where they found the most gold in California, right there. In that area. Right there. And all over here, this one, this is Idaho. They got those big silver mines in Idaho. You know, they got most of the silver comes from Idaho, I think, or it did. This is Yellowstone right here where that spot is. And this spot over here, I can, you know, this makes me laugh because you can see that that's a geologic formation in itself right there in North America, how it changes and just has this weird geologic formation. Well, I noticed this had to go with that. And you can see how this curves around. You can see the curve. Look, see how that curves around. I'm just seeing this too for the first time. You know, look at that. That piece fits right in there. And I was laughing because I don't know if you've ever heard about them taking the land in Tennessee, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. They made a bunch of people move out, right, off their farms, so that they could open this you know, Department of Defense thing for, you know, making weapons or whatever they were doing. Some reason they had to take the land. They had to have that spot to do it. You know what I'm saying? This spot was the only, you know, place that they could do it. When we have all this country to do it, where it's just wide open, they had to make a bunch of people move. And I thought that was kind of funny because you know, they don't make people do that unless there's something that they want. You know, usually they won't move people out. They have to. There has to be a reason that they need that land besides just, you know, for what they say. There's a double reason for it, you know. And you can see if they were to tunnel all under here, this is probably all mineral rich shit right here. Just all these spots that are you know, like this color, like over there by in California where that spot is. That's weather has something to do with it. Where the weather is heavy like this, you get more, you know, minerals or something. I mean, it just shows stuff. The weather shows things. It shows important locations. I mean, right here, obviously, we know that's an important location. So is that. That's Yellowstone. This is right there by the Grand Canyon in the desert. We know that's, you know, an interesting spot as well. And then here's the inland. This would be the inland sea that they say was over before the Rockies came up. That would be the inland sea, basically. Like I said, the weather in the Bay of Bengal matches the geology of the Rockies. If you save weather from over there and bring it over here, it'll fit the land of the rock. It'll fit all this area of western United States. It's always the same shape. So I think this is an accurate alignment. Pretty sure. I mean, I'm happy with it. Pretty happy. Especially now that this is the grate. I can see the shape of the grate right here. See how this got that fish shape? It has a little break in it, this one, but I've seen it here before in the weather, actually. Right there in that same place. Wow. The Great Volcano I'm talking about. And it's in the right direction. See how it comes? Here it is at the Gulf of St. Lawrence right here. See how? Oh, you can't. Nobody can see it. Here, let me show you. See how this comes from this point right here and then opens up into like a teardrop shape right here and comes back around? See that? Okay, well, look at this weather pattern. See how, just remember that curve right there, about the size of that curve, and how it peaks back to that peak. Now look at this weather pattern that I just pointed out a minute ago. See that? How it's round down here and it kind of goes up into a point. It's the same thing. That's the same thing. It creates that Gulf of St. Lawrence. That's the same thing. Look, the size is identical. Pretty interesting. Yeah, I bet they did tunnel through all this. I mean, that's what they did. They built tunnels. I know that there's tunnels that they were doing something there at the Oak Ridge or whatever it's called. You know, it's a secret place, secret government compound or whatever. But they had tunnels going underground. I know that's what they were doing. I said that to some guy too. I told him, I said, you know, there's got to be gold or something down there. They got tunnels going down there. Can't see what they're doing. You know, it's so secret. They have the trucks coming out of the ground somewhere else where it's closed off, where you can't even see that they're coming out. You know, nobody ever knows. Suddenly, the truck appears with a load of dirt, truckload after truckload. And we know that there's tunnel. I've seen on the internet there's a lot of tunnels in this area that connect to WalMarts and shit. Or is that over here? I don't know. Probably over here. I bet you they have tunnels all over this area. Oh hell yeah! This whole area is full of tunnels. Because they got this is the New Madrid right here, huh? Ooh, you can see that's the great volcano at the New Madrid. I just recently figured that out too. Oh yeah, that is the New Madrid right there. Oh shit! There it is. Shows it right there. There's your New Madrid fault line right there, your fault zone. That's why the water's disappearing from the Mississippi right there. That's underneath. That's New Madrid right there. That's the volcano that I'm talking about. It's under New Madrid. I've seen it in another picture of weather recently that I was looking at it, but that's it right there. That's this right here. This shape. You see the shape of that? Okay, just look at that. Okay, look at it this way. It goes. It's related to this right here. This spot. This desert. It is the same thing as that desert. Whatever created that desert created that spot in the weather that was actually down here in that weather, but that place created the New Madrid fault line too, or the fault zone as well. That spot is from that same thing that creates that desert right there. So you can see some of this had to do with the Himalaya, or it was created, you know, before or after the Himalayas or whatever. You can see the curve of the Himalayas. This would be the desert, and you can see the curve of the Himalayas right here. I can see that the whole shape of the Himalayas in this. The Tibetan Plateau would be created by whatever creates this. Actually, this is over in Asia, so that doesn't make, you know, it's not that far-fetched. Not far-fetched at all because it's true. The weather patterns repeat like that. Shows you where things were before. So this Himalayan curve right here in this weather is just down there by Indonesia and the Philippines, and it goes. All you have to do is bring it up here above India, and there it is again. So yeah, that makes sense. Here it is again right here. So anyway, I know that part was hard to understand, but that's a volcano. That shows a volcano, and that's right in the New Madrid fault zone right there, and it's in the right place. You can see that curve is there right here. This thumbprint looking thing. It's in the right place. Interesting. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of that. I'm sure a couple of you did. Have a good day.